Hey, hey, hey! Welcome in, guys. Welcome to this special Adobe live session. My name is Meredith Jones, and I'm an education evangelist. You may have spotted that this accent sounds a bit peculiar because I'm based over here in the UK. So it is a terrible time of day for me to be doing this right now. It's supper time for me. It's dinner time. But I'm joined by the lovely Jessica Campos, who is over there in the US and is on a better time zone than I am, I think. Is that right, Jessica?
So it's dinner for you. It's lunchtime-ish for us. And I think we're going to have battle of the accents because I've been told my Texas accent comes through quite a bit. So, if you don't understand what I say, just let me know. I'll repeat myself. And of course, we do have Stardust with us as well. Stardust
Absolutely.
is parents. So
Yep.
We're going to have all the magical powers today. It's going to be great.
She's up there on the piano as well behind me. There she
Oh,
is. There we
there
go.
we go.
Yeah. Yeah, she's in two places at once, Stardust, because, that's what magic beings can do, So anyway, welcome into this session. We've got a really exciting session lined up for you because we have got some brand new back to school bundles to share with you. We've got the links ready for you to use today and to take back to school with you, whether you're preparing to go back to school or you're actually back in school, or you've been back in school and you've got maybe some teachers, some parents coming in for an evening at the school to meet the teacher, that kind of thing. So we've got 3 bundles for those 3 different points of the beginning of the school year. But before we do that, let's take a quick look at what's happened to the Adobe Express homepage. What do you think, Jessica?
So over the summer, the Adobe Express homepage changed just a little bit. So I know it looks a little different, but could you just give us a little scroll real quick? You see, we were kind of used to scrolling a lot, but now we don't have quite so much to scroll because the Adobe team took the things that teachers use most, the things they hear us talking about, the things they see us using, and made it a lot easier for us to find. So straight out of the gate, our first one is our AI image creator. And the first 2 right here, we've got posters, the videos, guided activities, animate from audio, build a web page, presentations. You guys can look at it, no big deal. So that's that first create button. And now if we click on the teach button.
Yeah, and I tell you what, before we go to the teach tab, I really love that they've put the drawing editor right there on the new create page, because I love drawing in Express. It's one of my favorite things to do. Anyway, sorry.
No, that's okay. I love that one too. It's one of those ones that doesn't necessarily get a lot of love, but it needs some love. So please go use it. So on the teach tab, you might see some things that are different. So we've got those things for teachers who want to learn more about Express. They maybe are new to Express, or some of the new features. And then one more time, let's click on edit. And then here's some more, just quick places to go and do quick action type things, removing a background out of an image, putting those PDFs together, converting to a GIF or GIF, whichever way you say it, capturing those videos for those of us who pre-record our lessons or record lessons for our students who might be absent, remove an object. I never pay attention when I'm taking pictures. And so for me, that remove object is clutch because I might need to remove something that I didn't see before. We've got insert object because like who doesn't need sunglasses on a corgi?
Absolutely.
And convert from PDF, and then of course combining in those files.
Hey, now, do you know that corgi is a Welsh word, Jessica?
Oh, is it?
It is. It is.
Real quick.
It's actually in Welsh. It literally translates into dwarf dog. Corgi is. Yeah, there we go.
I'm going to keep that because I joke that I'm teaching chemistry this year. So I joke that scientists are lazy. We obviously name things so that we don't have to learn all of the, we don't have to keep this running memory of, oh, this is the acronym, this was the meaning for this. We name it very obviously. So I'm going to keep that for reference.
There it is.
Trivia.
And the other thing, we like naming animals in Wales. So the other one we named was the penguin. So penguin is actually a Welsh word as well. And it literally means white head. That's it. Which is daft because penguins don't have white heads, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter about that. Right. Well, anyway, we're sidetracking.
For penguins, maybe. Okay.
Right, we're sidetracking. Let's talk about these bundles. Now then, we are going to zoom in on the back to school bundle 2 today, which is the first days of school. So we'll pop up the short link for that up on screen right now. So the short link, if you want to make a note of this, it's down there in the show description on YouTube anyway. But the short link to get to this bundle 2 is, let me make sure that I read out the right one, adobe.ly/B2S First Days Edu. And you need to be careful with your capitalization there, if you don't use the capital letters in the right place, the link won't be the same. So B2S, back to school, first days edu. Okay, adobe.ly/B2S I'm making a mess of this. Adobe.ly/B2S first days edu. There we go. I got away with that. I don't think anybody noticed that I made a mistake at all. Right. So when you get here, Jessica, what are the first things that jump out at you on this first bundle?
So, well, I want you to notice that this is hosted on an Adobe Express web page. And if you would just scroll, I'm going to talk as you scroll for me. So there's a lot of different ways that we can house content as teachers for our students or as professional learner to professional learner. You can see we've got links in here, we've got videos in here, we've got images, all kinds of great ways to convey the information we need to. And you can just kind of give you a preview real quick of all the things that we might possibly work on here today. I promise you we don't have enough time to work on them all, but in the YouTube description link are the links to the Back to School Bundle 1 and then the Bundle 3 as well. So if you're not already connected to us, please make sure that you do click that button and sign up and join us. Yep, that's the one. You know, you want to join the party. If you would please go back to the top for me.
Yes, of course. Here we go.
I really am in my classroom and my light sensor does go off. So if you see me dancing off, it's because I'm trying to keep my light sensor going. So I personally love our very first graphic that we have here. It's the All About Me graphic. It's one of those great intro into meet your students, introduce yourself to your students, but keep it in your back pocket because it is a powerhouse graphic that could be transformed into a variety of things. You might want to take it into history and tell me about a historical character. For me, teaching chemistry, I might need you to tell me about an element or how to solve a problem. For, also for our math people, you might want to take it into language arts and tell me about why this particular grammar rule fits here or something of that nature. So it is a powerhouse graphic, but I don't want to downplay our second one here in this first section, the All About Me, where you have those listed out characteristics of our lovely young lady here. That's a great one for your students who maybe aren't quite ready to tell you a whole lot about themselves, or maybe you have a smaller amount of time. This second graphic, the self-portrait template, is a lot shorter as far as time commitment, but we're going to jump in and do the All About Me template.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I totally agree with you there, Jessica. These two are great if you're starting out with students who haven't used much Express before. The self-portrait template is a brilliant one that you can jump in and get started with really quickly. And the second one, even though it's a little bit more involved, it's also a really good early on for early users of Express to get started with. Right, so to open up this activity, we're just going to click on the All About Me template button that you can see here on the left-hand side. And it's going to launch it straight into Express. It's going to put us straight into Express, and every student that clicks on that link, and you can share that link with them. Once they click on that, they're brought straight in, and they're not sharing this. They're not working collaboratively on the same document. Everybody opens it up and gets their own copy of this to make their own. Right, what would you do first here, Jessica?
Well, if I've never put my students into Adobe Express, the first thing I would talk about is right here on the right-hand side, that Learn menu. That is a great resource because sometimes we as teachers talk about we need body doubles or we need multiple people in here explaining how to do something. That video, as you guys can see, it's 1 minute and 46 seconds. It walks students through how to do the basic things, change a font, change a color, add in an image, change the icons that are being used. It is a great resource. But if your kids don't like video, would you scroll down a little bit for me, please?
Yeah.
Look, we have a whole different set of instructions. We have pictures, we have text. If you've been using the Learn tab before, you may not have seen that. That is something that's come in new, and I personally love it.
Yeah, and if you are using an LMS with your students, a VLE, a virtual learning environment, it's as easy as clicking on Share Activity, that black button right down there in the bottom right-hand corner. That'll give you the link. You share that link with your students. That's all they need to click on to get in here and get started. Right. Well, I tell you, if I don't start off by renaming this file, then my colleague Dom, who's over here in the UK education team, will phone me up and shout at me. So the first thing that we usually do is rename the file, because at the moment it's just auto-named it with today's date. So what would you call this, Jessica?
I'm going to say welcome 2025. Now, for me, when I'm talking to my students or my adult learners too, I say that's my fail-safe save button, because we used to say save and save often. Well, as long as you name it generally you are going to immediately have that file no matter what happens, whether you lose Wi-Fi, you lose power, you've got your file now that you've named it. We make copies of our remixable templates. Sometimes they get lost in the shuffle. Something didn't translate right. And if I know I've named it, I can always find it in your stuff so that I have it again. Okay, so we've got it. Where do you want to start next?
Okay, well, I'll tell you what I always like doing is thinking about my colors. That's one of the things I like to do first is think about my colors because it straight away takes it in a new direction. So I like going into themes. So across the top here, you'll see on the top ribbon, we've got these buttons. And the second one along there is theme. So if you click on there, then you've got access to loads and loads of really cool color themes, and you can create your own ones. So if I scroll down and go, I really like these pastel ones.
Me too.
Click on view all. You scroll through. Now, the search feature is really good in the color themes as well. You can just name different colors or different vibes, different moods, and you can go for it. But I like these pastel ones. And you'll notice when you click on it, you can then use the shuffle button and kind of cycle through them to see which way these work best. So that's kind of one of the things I'll do first of all. And what you'll find when you're shuffling is that it'll kind of, sometimes it'll be perfect, and sometimes it'll kind of land somewhere where you'll need to make some tweaks. Like maybe the text doesn't quite contrast enough, but it's a good starting point. So you can see that I've already taken that straight away from the original template, and it's already got my kind of flavor on it. What would you do next? Would you go straight for the photo, or would you start thinking about the kind of bones of it?
Honestly, I would do the photo next. So there's two different ways we talk about this. We can either, if students have an image or have access to a device that allows them to take an image, they can put the image of themselves if they feel comfortable, or we try to play with those AI tools if we have time and talk about creating an AI version of ourselves. So which one do you feel like doing today?
Yeah, well, let's start off with just the kind of simpler version of uploading a photo, if you happen to have one. But yeah, and more, we work with learners who maybe don't want to use photos. So creating your own AI avatar or creating an image of yourself using AI is definitely a fun alternative. So if you want to upload a photo, there's a few different ways of doing that. You could literally just drag and drop it from your file browser onto the canvas. That's how I usually do it, which is a bit chaotic and people shout at me, but it works. You can copy and paste it. If you've got it somewhere else on the internet, you can copy and paste an image over. That also works on Express. But the kind of, I suppose, the more conventional way of doing it would be to click on media on the left-hand side, or you could use the upload button, but media on the left-hand side, and then we've got upload from device. Okay, so I can go into my photos here, and I can have a quick look. And I think I've got something silly that I took when we were out with you a few weeks back for Ace Innovator. There it is. Okay.
I love it.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not sure about it, but there we go. There we go. So we've got that there. Now then, I've got this lovely white background. Now, if you've used Express before, you'll know that we have got an incredible remove background feature that we've kind of stolen from Adobe Photoshop. We can just click on this happy dog here on the top left-hand corner. Click on it once. Express does an incredible job of finding the background and removing it. Now, that was quite easy because I had a plain white wall behind me, but it does a great job even if the background is a bit chaotic. Right, well, I'm in there. I'm really sorry, but I'm going to get rid of this hero now because, this is all about me, after all. So I'm going to get rid of that. And let's pop me into where he was. There we go. So that's done. Now, when you do that, maybe some of these squiggles and lines and things might have to move around. And those are kind of the early, simple Express techniques and skills that you're going to have to teach your kids anyway. So maybe that'll be my next job, is just rearranging things to fit around this new photo of me. Any thoughts, Jessica?
On the left-hand side,
I look silly.
I love it though. I love it. So on the right-hand side, you see that you're at the very top of our layers. You can click on that little image of you on the right-hand side, click, hold, and drag it down and take it underneath all those other items so that you don't necessarily have to move around quite so many items.
Mm-hmm.
And as you keep moving it to the bottom, you see those pop up over the top of his image. And so you can see where they are. And I mean, that yellow line tracing your beard, I might move that, but the rest of them, I might leave where they are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a really good point. It depends if you want those lines to kind of go behind or not. But you could just send those backwards. But yeah, you're right. You could just pop your image right in the back, and then we can just kind of move things around a little bit, and it's less of a hassle than it would be if my image was in front. All right, cool. So, I mean, my name is not Adrian, so I think I'm going to go and change that next, which is down here in the bottom right-hand corner. So I'm just going to go in there, and I'm going to change the name Adrian to my name. Oh, let's make sure that I use caps. Now then, that doesn't fit very well in there. So Express, again, gives you more than one way to solve problems. You could use the corner handles and the long side handles to just grab and pull your text box around to reshape. Or if you're a little bit more traditional, over on the left-hand side, we've got the font size where you can click up and down, and you've got kind of finer control over it by doing that. What do you tend to do when you're resizing text, Jessica? I tend to grab a corner personally.
I tend to grab and pull too, unless I have it's not quite working for me, and then I'll go in and I'll mess with the plus up and plus down. But also for this particular instance, I think we might have had an extra layer onto that text. So you can click back on the text for me, please. And right here on the left-hand side in our text menu, you see we have some text layouts. Will you click on layouts for me?
Of course.
And let's try dynamic.
Yeah. Now then, lovely. I like it.
And so that makes it stand out a little bit more. And we really do want to focus on our kid's name because this is about them. And so ultimately they are the star of the show. So their name should be the star of the show.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, with a dynamic text layer, when you use the corner, you can see it kind of resizes your text so that it always fills the width of the box. And then it'll push it onto multiple lines, depending on how many words you've got. But it's a good way if you've got some kind of weird spacing, because my name is so ridiculously long. It made the who is look really tiny. So using the dynamic text layout helps us to kind of fill up that cool roundel, I think that little kind of thing is called. It's cool, isn't it? Right, yeah. Okay. What's coming next?
Well, so we've done a lot we've changed the image, we've changed our colors, we changed a little bit of text. Let's stay on text and let's work the way around the image and change all of that text. So as you click on each bit of text, what's your favorite food?
Oh, sorry. My favorite food is pasta.
Oh, okay. Any particular
kind? Meaty pasta. I like pasta with kind of sausage or with beef or that kind of thing. Yeah. The type that takes a long time to run off, So how about you? What's your favorite food?
I am a Tex-Mex lover. I like all the carnitas, the tacos, rice and beans. That brings me joy. Chips and queso and a nice adult beverage on a patio is heaven for me.
So at the moment, I've said favorite. It just says favorite pasta. Hang on, favorite food. There we go. And I would spell favorite differently to you guys, but we're not going to start a war right now. We're going to leave that there. We're going to leave that alone. So at the moment, we've got favorite food pasta and we got a picture of ice cream. So that's not gonna work, is it? So let's get rid of this ice cream cone by clicking on it. Now you could use the backspace on your keyboard, or just click on the little bin here, the little trash can. Is that what you'd say? Trash can.
Yes, trash can.
There we are. We call it the bin over here.
We'll make it work. Across the pond. Here we go.
Click on the bin. Now then, where do I find something similar to that? Where am I going to go to find things like that? Cool little clip arty icons.
So on the left-hand side, there's the beautiful Adobe Express symbol, and there right below that is a list of all the menus we can go through. I'm pretty sure it's the 8th one down underneath the A.
Yeah.
Was I right? Was it 8?
I didn't count. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, you're right. There we go.
Okay, so in the elements menu, go ahead and click on it for me. We have a variety of things hidden away. We have design assets, backgrounds, shapes, icons. We need icons to replace the ones that are on here. So let's click on icon.
Okay, so here we go. Icons, and I can search in here. Now you can see also that it's using AI to try to kind of suggest stuff for me, which is really cool as well. And the more things you add to your design, days I clicked on it. The more things you add to your design, the better it gets at suggesting things. Right, let's search for pasta. Now, some people ask me all the time, what's the difference between icons and design assets? Because people think they kind of do the same job. So just think of it as that icons, if you're old enough like me to remember the heyday of clip art, then that's what icons are. They are single colored, simple designs. Okay, so just think of them. They're only in one color and you can decide what color it is. Whereas the design assets are more like multicolored stickers that have got texture and transparency. Some of them have got transparency built in. So they're more complex, more kind of designed. Right, I'm going to choose, here we go, bit of pasta. Okay. And you can see that when it adds it in, it actually uses one of the colors from the theme that I chose way back at the beginning of this activity. And if you want to change it, you can click on the fill color and you can see there that, you've got your page theme colors all lined up there. So if it happens to have picked the wrong color, then you can change it easily. It's actually picked exactly the right color that I wanted. So that's great. And now I have customized that. Right. Where do we go next?
Let's go to your favorite subject. What was your favorite subject in school?
Oh, that was easy for me. It was history, followed very closely by music, but it was history. Yeah. What about you? Was it chemistry?
Chemistry and physics have always been my favorite, but I had really great teachers who made all of my classes. But I was very lucky. I went to a very small school for high school. I had a lot of really interesting teachers. And so senior level economics is not my thing. Okay, let me be real. Not my thing. But I had an incredible teacher who made it interesting and relevant. So I think I was very blessed to really enjoy school.
Now, this line connecting the heart to my, peculiar looking expression is in yellow. So that happens when you change a color theme, it'll kind of shuffle the colors around and sometimes it'll jumble things up. So I think I'd like it to be the same color as this heart. So again, I've clicked on this yellow line and then over on the left-hand side, I can click there and you can see there that the page theme color is there. So that's easily done. Now, if you wanted a color and it wasn't part of your theme, then do remember that you do have the pipette here up at the top of this panel, which you can click on and actually hover over a color to pick any color from your design. All right, okay, let's press ahead. Let's do you for once. What when you weren't at school, what would you be doing?
Ooh, well, I am an avid reader, so I would be reading.
Cool. Now, I like that this bubble doesn't even say skateboarding. It just concentrates on the image. I think that's really cool. And again, you could kind of push these around. You see what I'm doing here? I'm pushing it around, and it's gone onto 3 lines instead of 2, which means that you could then, make these icons even bigger. So let's get rid of it and let's see if we can find something for Jessica here. So let's search for, do you think we should just search for books or reading?
Let's start with books.
Okay.
So part of the reason why I love to read so much is because I feel like every time I read a book, I go on an adventure. And when you are in central rural Texas, there's not a whole lot to do. So it's kind of nice to go on adventures every now and then.
Anything there that grabs you?
I kind of like the one with the leaves. I'm looking for a particular one that I know is in there. Keep going for me. It's like an open book with sparkles coming out of it.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Is it this one?
That one will work.
Okay. I'm guessing it's not the one then, right?
Time. Because we have more things we want to share.
That was very positive of you, Jessica. Is this the one? That one would work. Right, okay, cool. Right, now then, you may also find when you're choosing color themes that you just can't get your colors to work. For example, I'm not really happy with the color contrast here between my text and the shape in the background. It's quite difficult to read. So you can always click on a color, like this, what color would you call that? Lilac circle?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
lilac. It's lavender.
Okay, there we go. Look at me with my color knowledge. Right, so I'm going to click on this lilac circle and click on the fill there, and you'll see, right, what you've got your page theme colors, but then you've also got recommended colors, which tone with this selected color. So if you like the colors, but the actual color contrast isn't working very well, then the recommended, like that, or even that, is going to just help you to have better contrast. And then you can just pop in and adjust this in the same way. There we go, like that. Right, okay. Well, we're not far off now with this. What are you going to do next?
Well, we've only got one thing left. We've got, what do you, I mean, you said music was a favorite subject, so what do you play?
Well, yeah, look, I have my piano behind me here.
Okay.
And then there's a harp in the background there, which I don't play. That's my daughter's. But I play my main instrument is the drums. So I'm going to loves playing the drums. But of course, this could be anything at all. This one is most of the free choice, I would say, that's on this whole activity. You know, you got your subject, what you do when you're not at school, food. Those three, you're going to kind of do what you want. You're going to follow the pattern. But this one is just like what you love. You know, it could be anything. It could be video games, it could be coding, could be traveling, going out for a walk. It could be some sports, could be, but I'm going to go blues, playing drums.
Okay.
There we go.
Honestly, like we said earlier, this could be adapted to any subject level, just depending on what you're asking your students to do with it. Super easy template to use. It's a favorite.
Yeah, I mean, this, you know, we've used this one, you know, for a while, and it's just, we keep going back to it because it is a really great one to do at the beginning of a school year, because it gets your students thinking about what their favorite things are. It gets them thinking, full stop, because, you know, after summer break, it's difficult to get them to think about big things. So getting them to actually decide what their favorite food is a good start. It's a good way to get the brain moving. And then it's a really nice way of introducing Express to students that maybe haven't used it for a while, or maybe haven't used it at all. Because the skills that we've used here, they repeat. And you know, when you teach your kids new skills, there's no point teaching them a new skill and expecting that they'll know that forever. It's repetition is what gets them confident at that skill. And this is great for that, because once you've shown them how to do the favorite food, then they just go around the circle and they repeat the same skills. They could even add some more bubbles in if they wanted. Now then, what about sharing this, Jessica? What would you do at your school? How would you get this out of Express?
Well, there's two different ways you can do this. So I like to build my Adobe Classroom, which we haven't talked about yet. So I would have my students turn it into me through Adobe Classroom, but there's also that share button. You can click on the share.
Yeah.
And there's a variety of ways. So you can have them turn it in through Google Classroom, or if you're using a different LMS, you can take that link and drop that link into, we use Canvas, so we can turn it in Canvas, or, which I don't recommend this option, but if it's the only option you have, you can share it directly back to your teacher. So the reason why I say that is because we have some littles who we love using Express and they just can't type all the letters of a teacher's email yet. So there's a variety of different ways to do it. I would highly recommend getting that link into an LMS or having your Adobe Classroom set up.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, over here in the UK, especially with younger learners, some schools here don't, well, a lot of schools here don't have an LMS. But they maybe just keep their work in a drive, in an online drive, somewhere stored in the cloud. So over here, a lot of schools will use the download button as well. And maybe they just download this as a PNG and then drag it into whatever cloud storage they use. So you've got all of those options there for getting it out of Express. Because that's the thing with digital work. Once you've spent some time on it, you know, you want to get it out. You want to get it out into the world. You know, a real big favorite for us as well is if you've created a view-only link, then it's so easy to just generate a QR code for that. Because if this relates to maybe some work that they've been doing in their exercise books, we can just copy that link, hop back out to the Express homepage by clicking on the Express logo in the top left-hand corner and generate a QR code. And over here, we teach our kids to generate their own QR codes. And then that could be stuck anywhere you want, in their exercise books, on a notice board, up on display, so that anybody who wants scans it can see that work as well. Right. Okay.
I love that. I think I'm going to steal that. That's a great idea.
I definitely stole it. So you're not really stealing it from me. Right. Hey, I tell you what we've neglected as well is the folks that are watching. So guys, if you are watching, please let us know in the chat. I've got the YouTube chat open here. I kind of logged in halfway through when Jessica was explaining something because I remembered that I hadn't done it. And so let us know where you're joining us from. What time is it with you guys right now? And what from this first back to school bundle, well, it's the second one, but the first one we're looking at today. Sorry. What from this back to school bundle number 2 are you most excited about? And let's jump back to it and let's scroll down and let's take a look at maybe another one. What do you think? What about this one, Jessica?
Yeah, I'd say the classroom norms, that's something every classroom starts with. We have to set our tone and our pace. And, it's all text. So this one will be a quick one. There is a video here that walks you through, ways to change things, just kind of a quick learn for the teachers. So right here, it's 1:53. It's going to give you some of those skills that you may not know, especially if you're new to Express. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah, I clicked on it and then there we go. I clicked on it, but I'm also zoomed in. So I just broke the internet, guys. That's what I did. Okay, there we go. It's fine. Right.
So let's go ahead and go into the template real quick.
Yeah, no, I love this one because it's such a blank canvas. And also because I think it also reflects your style as a teacher, because I would probably be more practical than a lot of these things that are on this list. Jessica's lights have gone off. Do you know what?
I wiggled enough. Apparently I didn't. I'm so sorry.
It doesn't matter where you are in the world. Okay, this is a global phenomenon. If a teacher sits for 10 minutes without moving too much, their lights will go off. It used to happen to me all of the time in my classroom, and I get great joy watching it happening to you, Jessica.
I appreciate you loving it.
Right, now that we've got this opened up, and I tell you what, now that in the first one, I showed you that one of the first things that I do is go and choose a color theme. And that's because I do like it when kids immediately make something their own, rather than kind of tinker with a template and just change some text and leave it pretty much as it is. I like making quite a big drastic change early on because it kind of fuels the kids to go and get creative and then make it their own. So I'm not going to do the same this time. I'm going to just maybe start off with something else that I'd suggest, is that one of the first things that I would do with a template always is, can I make an obvious big change to the font? Now, this is very text heavy. Now, I wouldn't want kind of 32 copies of this back from my class where they've just changed the actual text in these text boxes. But they're all the same colors and they're all the same fonts. It's going to be very samey. Do you say samey?
Twinsies, samesies.
There we go. Good. Well, I think we're translating. Yeah, you get it. Right. So one of the first things I do with this, if I was using it in class, is I would teach my kids how easy it is to change fonts and work with fonts in Express. Now, you could do it one at a time, but actually I'm just going to drag a big old box over all of this text. And over on the left-hand side, it is going to tell me that it's currently using this font, which is called Filicudi. I think that's how I say it anyway. So
you got me. I'm not sure. I think it looks Italian, and that is not a language I'm fluent in.
So I'm going to click on the drop down here, and you can scroll through fonts. You can go to more fonts as well, which is quite interesting because there are different fonts in here. And you can just go and choose some of a totally random language and just scroll through as well. And you'll come across some fonts in there that are different to what you see out in the normal font dropdown. But also another tip that I really like is that a lot of these fonts, if you want it to be a kind of bold, thick, strong font, is that you can kind of type those words in here. So where it says Filicudi there, if I type in bold, it then pops up a list of all of the fonts that have bold versions. Let me do that again because I was zoomed in. There we go. So you can see that it's by typing bold in there, all of these fonts, and then you can drop it down. You can see I've got bold versions. And then thicker again would be maybe an ultra font. There we go. Or sometimes it's called black. Okay, so you can just go in, type those words in, and it gives you that kind of feeling of font that we've got here, these kind of strong, attention-grabbing fonts. So now this is a total weakness of mine, Jessica. I have been known to spend half an hour picking a font out, So, I'm going to just grasp the nettle here, and I'm going to go for this one. I don't think I've used it before, ASAP Condensed, and I'll go for the black version of that. I think this is a cool font. There we go. So immediately, this has got a different vibe. What else would you do to change the vibe, Jessica? What would you do?
Well, I personally like the rainbow colors. I am wearing our rainbow colored I Am a Creative Educator shirt.
Hey, and it's in Welsh. The green line is in Welsh, guys. Come on.
And so, keeping in mind that I do have a lot of students who are new to the country, I might try to change some of the lines out to, include them, even though everyone in the room knows what they say. So that might be something that I would do, maybe switch out some of the lines to reflect the learners in my classroom. But if I have only one language spoken in my classroom, maybe, I don't know, that black at the top doesn't necessarily seem inviting. It seems very stern. I might change that color out.
Okay, so if I click on that piece of text, that black box is actually a part of the text box. It's not a separate shape. It's the shape effect that you've got in Express. It's a really easy way to get shapes behind your text rather than kind of working with a shape and a text box separately. We've got them built in. Okay, so to change that color, we would go to Effects, which is where the background shapes live, and scroll down to Shape. Okay, and you can see that the shape that's been used is this box here. Now, we know that because it's kind of selected with a black box, and it's got the settings icon on it, that little circle with some sliders. So do you want to keep that shape, or do you want to just change the color, or do you want to change the shape? What are you thinking, Jessica?
Let's make it round instead of square. So
okay, cool.
ABC, second row.
Yeah, cool. So this one, there we go. So that's like a pill shape. So, and then we can click on the settings on this one. And what are the settings that we've got? Okay. So what would you do? You tell me.
Let's bring the shape size down just a little bit.
Yeah, it did jump up, didn't it? It did go boom. There we go. So we can bring the shape size down, you can see, and up. And I would say I'd probably pop it about there. Yeah, and then what would you do next?
Oh, let's see. Let's click on the black little, yeah, there we go. Yeah. Square, cube. And let's go to custom, because we've done swatches, but we haven't talked about custom yet.
Okay, so custom is here. All right.
And so there's two different ways we can change our colors. We can do the slider across the top, and then once we land in the family of colors we're looking for, we can use that diagonal to make it perfect. Well, you know what? Let's go with a green, since the Welsh is green on the shirt. Let's try to match the green that's here. Yeah, right about there, and then it's kind of top right-hand side is.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Yep,
that's darken it a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. That way it's more readable.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so exactly as Jessica said, when you're using custom, you kind of start off on this kind of rainbow bar. So you kind of pick where you want to be on the rainbow. And then you've got this the kind of shade box. Now, this box, it doesn't matter where you are on the rainbow. If you go to the top left-hand corner, it's white. And if you go to the bottom corners, well, anywhere across the bottom, it's black. And then down the left-hand side is always white through gray down to black. And then the top right-hand corner is the kind of full hue, so that color at its brightest as it appears in the rainbow slider. But then, as we saw there, and I'll do it again, let's take it back to here. At that full hue green, it's not really easy to read my text. So I kind of need to darken up my text. So to darken up, the shape. So what I need to do is just drag this down a bit. Okay, and if I wanted to take some color out of it, I could also drag it to the left, and it starts to desaturate it, starts to take the green out of it and turn it into more of a kind of gray green. Okay, so kids really like playing around and learning about color science by seeing it in action with this feature. All right, cool. Right, what's next? Or shall I go?
Well, if you don't mind, let's stay on these texts for just a second and go back to the edit.
Yes. So my text is here and we're on edit.
And right below where we picked our font, we have two boxes, one that's gray and the one that has that slash in it. Let's click on that slash.
All right, yeah. So Jessica's talking about these boxes, the fill color and then the one with the slash.
Yeah, the outline. So one of the things we do in Texas anyway, is we make sure when we're making posters, we put outlines on our text so it's more accessible. And for me, when I choose these lovely bright colors, I like to go with black because it really makes it stand out. So there we go. Click on the black for me. And I also play with those 3 lines right there. I hover around 25. So I click up to 25 and it makes it a little bit thicker and a little bit easier for those letters to be seen. You can go as crazy as you want.
Yeah.
I
get laughed at. Yeah, so we do student live streams over here in the UK every week, and I get laughed at because my go-to is to just whack it up to 100. That's right.
But you know, in some instances, it might work. Like I said, I start at 25 and then I play with it from there. The other thing, in that edit menu.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
That's okay. And the line right above where the T is in the black square, go to the 3 dots.
Yeah.
Next menu. And then we have letter spacing and line spacing. I play with that letter spacing and line spacing just a little bit, just to see what works best and is easiest for students to read. So depending on what needs you have in your classroom, that's another way to meet those accessibility needs, is to space out those letters or space out those lines.
Yeah, definitely. And if you're using an outline, then you're more likely to want to do that. Yeah. Right, I tell you what I would do next with this, Jessica, is the background. I would tell my class that I don't want any of these in with this kind of beige background on it, you know? So I'd want them to choose a background color, something that represents their favorite colors. So again, they can click on background color here on the top ribbon. You could jump into custom like we just did, or in the swatches. Now, sometimes new users, when they click on color, they're confused. They think, oh, there's only 5 colors and they're all this strange version of yellow. So you do need to just show your kids that they need to click on more colors in order to just open up a kind of set of standard colors there. But also a massive favorite of mine in Express is the backgrounds feature in Elements. So Jessica told us earlier about going over to Elements on the left-hand menu bar down here. And if you go there and click on it, then up at the top, you will see backgrounds. Now, this is just a set of images, thousands and thousands of images. This is from the Adobe stock library. And you could use a photo as a background, but these are kind of designed to work well as backgrounds. They don't take too much attention. So what are your go-tos when you're searching backgrounds, Jessica? What do you tend to put in?
Rainbow smoke. It's my favorite.
Rainbow smoke. Well, I've never seen that, so I have to do.
It's one of my favorites, and there's so many iterations now.
Oh, cool. Yes. Yeah. Now, what I love about the backgrounds feature as well in Express is that you can click on a background and you're not committed to it. Now, usually you'd think that to change that now, I'd have to delete it and add another one. But you can literally just click through loads of different backgrounds and just kind of audition them super quick before deciding on the one that you like. There's some amazing ones in there. You know, if you look for things like, I like watercolor. I'm going to insist on spelling it correctly. Right, there we go. So I love these. These are really cool. Now, you definitely want to teach your learners again here. Look, guys, you don't want something too bright. Something like this is nice, but it's making that text harder to read. So you want to make sure that you pick something that's nice and pale, and it's a background in all ways, not just in name. Right, there we go. I've just landed on that one, which is cool. It also shows the nice feature, that text box, it had the cut out text selected. So when you click on it, when we added that shape, that rounded shape, you can see that it's got cut out text selected, and you can actually see your background through the text, which I think is a really nice feature, and I don't actually use very much of, but it always looks cool.
Yeah, I don't use it much either, but it is really neat. And it's another way for kids to personalize this themselves.
Yeah, right. I have no idea how we're doing for time. I'm guessing horribly. I guess I'm guessing. But Jess is keeping me on track.
So we got 15 minutes left. So we've got time for just a little bit more. But unfortunately, I have to step out and go back to PD with my principal.
Yeah. I hope you're going to take some time to get some lunch, Jessica, because, this is extreme. This is extreme YouTubing. If you're just doing this and then going straight back to work. So I hope you grab a sandwich or something. Anyway,
I do have a cupcake waiting for me, so I'm good. I'm good.
Jessica, it has been wonderful to have you on this live stream. Thank you so much for joining us, and thanks for walking us through some of your highlights from this back to school bundle 2. And have a great rest of your day. And have a good school year as well. And your displays behind you there are looking wonderful. There it is. Lovely. I love the border. It's very nice.
Thank you. Now, just because I'm leaving doesn't mean you should leave. Please stay and continue for the next 15 minutes. And I can't wait to read the comments afterwards. Bye.
Yeah. Thanks very much, Jessica. Toodaloo. All right. So we are going to carry on, and we are going to keep on exploring our way through these back to school bundles. There we go. Thank you, Jacob. Jacob the wizard has sorted out our live stream. He sorted out my window. Thanks very much for your work as well, Jacob. Doing wonderful stuff. So let's just finish scrolling through this back to school bundle 2. So the personalize a name tent activity is a load of fun. And I tell you what, we won't have a look at that today, not because it isn't great. It is fantastic, but my good friend Claudio Zavala Jr. has actually recently released a how-to tutorial video on that exact activity. So if you'd like to have a look at that, then go and search up Claudio's YouTube channel because he goes through it there and he does a wonderful job of it. So I don't want to pretend that I'm as good as him. Right. And then the final one here is this: design a class logo. This is a really fun idea as well. And you can see that it's like a worksheet. It's all on this single page. And your class can start thinking about objects that represent their class. And then maybe what animals represent your area, or maybe your school has an official animal as part of the mascot. And then choose colors, and then it shows you how to actually combine those different ideas into a generative image prompt. And you can see that the prompt there on the left-hand side is there as an example. So you can then change that out for the things you'd like in your logo, and then generate it and pop it on the bottom right-hand corner. And again, I would then maybe go and change those orange colors that are on there, those shapes. I'd be using the color theme, and I would be using that as a way to customize this as well. So there is plenty of stuff for you here on this back to school bundle 2. And the whole idea with this bundle 2 is that it is for those first days of school. Activities to get your learners back in the groove of using Express, learning Express perhaps for the first time ever in their first days back in the school year. By the way, at the bottom of each of these bundle pages, you've got this sign up today button, which will take you through to the sign up form and more information about our Adobe Creative Educator community. So get involved, guys. We've got our ACE community. We've also got our ACE Leader and ACE Innovator communities. Click through, find out more, and find out how you can get involved. Maybe you could jump on a live stream like Jessica just did. There are opportunities there for PD, things that we can put in your hand so that you can help other teachers in your school and in your district, in your area, to use Express and to bring creativity into the classroom. Okay, let's just look now then at the other bundles, because, I can't just look at bundle 2. Let's go back. Let's backfill. Let's go and look at back to school bundle 1. Right, so we'll get that link up on screen for you now. So back to school bundle 1 is prepare your space. So this is all about you guys. This is you, practitioners, teachers, school staff. These are all things that can help you to prepare your space, maybe it's your classroom or your teaching environment, for the new school year. So the short link for this, and I'm going to really concentrate so that I can do a proper job of it this time. The short link to Back to School Bundle 1 is adobe.ly/B2S prep edu. Adobe.ly/B2S prep edu. We'll get that up on screen for you now. So let's have a look at what's included in this first bundle. And let's maybe jump in and play around with one or two of these ideas as well. So we first of all got this welcome poster. Now this really uses similar skills. So if you're new to Express yourself, it uses similar skills to that all about me activity that we did back at the beginning of the session today. You can upload an image of yourself, remove the background. You could play around with the color themes like I did so that it represents your favorite colors. And then you could change out the text, of course, instead of welcome to the 5th grade. Maybe mine would say, so my classroom name was A21, very personal. So maybe mine would say, welcome to ICT and in room A21. And this is our classroom. Or just a message at the bottom. You're very welcome, something like that. Okay, so you've got those templates there ready for you to use so that you can decorate your space, your teaching space. There's a keep it simple template, which I really like. I think that's very cool, that design. Or you've also got the add more info template. You can see there where you can actually type more information. Maybe this is handy if you're getting new classes in that have never met you before, that don't know you very well. Then maybe you'd use that add more info template. Scrolling down, we've got an about me video. So let's maybe look at this because we haven't looked at video skills at all today yet. And we should probably jump in. So to open it up, again, that's all you need to do is click on the button that says video template. And again, you can use this short 2-minute 45 video tutorial to help you there if you get stuck. But you shouldn't get stuck. Let's have a quick look. Click on video template. It's going to fire it up in Express. Here we go. We're ready to use it. So I'm going to close down the Learn tab. But if you've closed it down and you want the Learn tab back, then it's always easy to find with this light bulb icon in the topmost ribbon. Brings the Learn tab back for you. Okay, so have a look at this. Now, if you've never used video in Express before, and maybe you're a bit daunted by the idea of, oh, I don't know, editing video, that sounds really complicated. Well, actually, as you can see, the editor is exactly the same as the one we've been using for all of our graphic design tasks so far. We've got our ribbon across the top with things like background color and theme. You've seen plenty of that already in this session. And down the left-hand side, it's exactly the same set of buttons again. The only thing that's different when you're working with video is that you now have a timeline across the bottom. And then you can see this black vertical line. We call this the playhead. That just shows us where we are right now in time. Okay, so my whole video, I can see right down on the bottom left, is 19 seconds long. And this black playhead, this vertical line, shows me what my video looks like exactly at 12.9 seconds or 6.7 seconds or 17.2 seconds. So you can use that to drag around to see what your video looks like throughout its entirety. Now, our video is split up into these scenes. So we've got 1, 2, 3 scenes, okay? And the thing that makes them different is that they have different backgrounds. And when you want a different background or a different kind of video clip as a background to your video, then that in itself then becomes a new scene. And you can create new scenes, add extra scenes by clicking on the plus button there, add blank scene. You can even squeeze them in by clicking on the plus between two scenes and add a scene in between scenes if you want to squeeze something else in. Right, let's see how easy it is to change up this template. Okay, so we got, hi, I'm Ms. Nolan. So let's just change that. Hi, I'm Mr. Jones. So I'm just going to change this text. Now, you could change the font really easily, okay? It's on Adobe handwriting at the moment, which is a cool set of fonts. One of mine, I do like Frank. Frank's a cool one. There we go. And you can resize it if you wanted to fill that box up a little better, just like that. Now, these templates will come with animations built in. So let's give it a quick play by clicking on the play button here. There we go. And you can see that that text box and the text itself and that rectangle behind it are animating. And when you just replace text in the box, it inherits it. It keeps the animation there. Okay, right. That photo in the background is not me. So let's change that. So again, I don't have a kind of wide picture of just me. So what I'm going to do is let's just replace it. So I'm going to click on that picture of the teacher, and I'm going to use the replace button that's here underneath. When you select any image, you'll have the replace button, and I'm going to replace it with an upload. It'll open up my file browser. Let's grab a photo of me, maybe one where I'm not making a silly face, less of a silly face. There we go. And I'm going to open that up. Okay, so it's opened it up. Now, I'm not happy because it's chopped the top of my head off. So if you want to reframe it, you can just double click on this image. There we go. And I can just drag that down like this. Now, if I'd like it to be less kind of zoomed in, I can just resize it as well like that. Okay. And pop it into place like that. Okay. So I'm happy with that. That's looking good. I could remove the background as you saw me do before. And I would just go through and I could change all of these little icons by clicking on them, going to replace. These are design assets. So similar to what we did before, maybe I could search for drums, find a cool image, and it'll replace it for me. Okay. So by doing this, it keeps all of the animation. It keeps all of the cool stuff. You can just replace it, customize it for you, and you've made your own video. Now with that, you can download it as an MP4, or you can just click share, view only link, and it'll publish it to the internet, exactly as kind of YouTube videos get published. Anybody who clicks on that link can then play your video online. Right, so that's a cool thing in BTS Bundle 1, Back to School Bundle 1. As you can see, there's some really great stuff there. I would definitely dig into the LMS covers, get all my classrooms with custom labels up at the top. Hopefully there's loads of ideas there for you. And make sure that you also look at Bundle 3, which is really handy if you're having a kind of evening with parents coming into school. There's plenty of stuff there for you. So check out the links that are down in the description for the Back to School Bundles 1, 2, and 3. We've got you covered for those first few weeks of back to school. Well, thanks very much, guys, for joining me and Jessica on this Adobe Live session. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks, a massive thanks to Jacob, who's been looking after us in the background as well. And best of luck to you back to school. Make sure that you rest beforehand and make the most of the time off that you've got left, if you've got any left. All right, thanks for joining us, guys. It's been a pleasure, but bye for now.